Beautiful. Thank you. Welcome to Chopstick Travel. I'm Luke Martin, and today I'm in Armenia. This is a country I've been looking forward to visiting for such a long time. Extremely rich history. So a post-Soviet landlocked country in the Caucasus with borders on Turkey, Azerbaijan, Georgia, and Iran. There is so much influence in the cuisine. And today I'm here in the capital city of Yerevan. I'm gonna be taking you for 24 hours of eating and exploring Yerevan. And this is just the start of our series, crossing the beautiful country of Armenia. It's gonna be a great episode, so I hope you'll stay tuned until the end. Let's go eat some Armenian food. So I'm here in the Republic Square, beautiful, very large square at the center of Yerevan with some incredible fountains. And one thing you should know about Armenia is that they have extremely clean drinking water. So you'll see these fountains, all the locals taking drinks. Oh, cold, fresh water, safe for drinking, I promise. It's really good. Right in the main square. So we're gonna do a little bit of a city tour, check out some of the sights of Yerevan before we start eating. So it is without a doubt that Armenia has a bit of a troubled history with many wars and involvement in wars, as recently as just a few weeks ago, with countless Armenians murdered in Nagorno-Karabakh by the Azerbaijanis. We've come now though to Victory Park and Mother Armenia statue. This is the tallest statue in Armenia, and around the statue you can find remnants from World War II and also the first Nagorno-Karabakh war. And then you can see the Mother Armenia statue, which is actually the site of a former Stalin statue. So Armenia was part of the Soviet Union for 70 years, and it's said that Stalin himself came here before the statue was unveiled to approve it, and then of course, after the fall of the Soviet Union, he was torn down and crushed. And now Mother Armenia statue stands here representing the women of Armenia who took up arms to fight for their country. It's a beautiful square, and you've got an incredible view over the city with the mountains in the background. There's also a flame burning here for all of the fallen Armenian soldiers during World War II, which is something like 350,000, an incredibly large number. So sad history, but a beautiful place and a nice place to come and show your respect and learn about the history. So we have left the Mother of Armenia statue and come now to one of the most iconic sites in all of Armenia, definitely in Yerevan. This is the Cascade. So it's this beautiful set of stairs with an incredible view, and then you get this green kind of park all the way through it. And there's also all kinds of statues, sculptures, art pieces from around the world, including works from the Colombian artist Botero. So if you checked out our Colombia videos, you probably remember seeing some of his works in Colombia, and this is just a must-visit, iconic site for taking pictures of Yerevan. So we're just finishing up our little sightseeing tour of the city now, and it's time to go eat. So I'm here with Zara.
Welcome to my tasty guest house, my dear. I have a tradition. Before eating, you must help me.
Okay.
In Armenia, we say, "Ով աշխատում է, նա ուտում է." Who works, he eats. So
Okay.
if you want to taste,
So you're putting me to work, huh?
yes, you must help.
Okay.
Are you
Okay.
ready? Armenian traditional dish. It's called dolma.
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 Okay. Yep.
Msho, dolma.
All right. I'm getting put to work here. If I want to taste it, I gotta work.
You must cut like this. Okay, small.
So this is the Bulgar.
Yes.
So not using rice, which is quite unique. And where is this dolma coming from exactly?
from Mush region.
Mush,
From
okay.
Mush region. Now it's in Western Armenia, it's called.
Western
now
Armenia.
It's territorial Turkey.
Right.
But it's Armenian. So mix.
Okay.
This.
Mix around.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, cut more. So we're gonna add
It's your book.
tomato sauce. Just all of it? Okay.
Yes, yes.
So we got the tomato mixed with the beef and the bulgur. Okay, onions in.
Super.
Melted butter. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, look at that.
Please.
That's looking good already. Dill and parsley.
Yes.
It smells amazing. Okay, and dried basil, and then the parsley and dill. Oh, that smells really, really good.
This is a Halep paprika.
Paprika. Okay.
Yes, Halep. It's called Halep.
So now with the spices,
Yes, spices.
some pepper.
Yes. Salt.
Okay. All right, let's give this all a mix. The bulgur, the meat, all those spices, dill, parsley, onions, tomato sauce,
Dum, dum, dum.
and a little bit of water. Okay.
Little water.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, you
And this is going to be the
mix this all.
filling for our dolma. We've got the vine leaves here.
Yes.
And filling it with our mixture, and then
Now I
you're gonna
show.
show me the first one because
Okay.
I definitely don't know
Now,
how to do this.
like this.
Okay.
This.
And just roll it up. All right. I think I can
Okay.
do that. I think I can manage. Okay. Fold in. Fold in. And then roll it up. Uh-oh. Is that okay?
Well done. Yes.
All right. My first dolma. Look at that little beauty.
You made something. This is an Armenian spaghetti. It's called arishta. Only salt, water, and flour we use for this dough. Now, I must roll. You can keep 1 year like lavash because it's salty dough. Dum dum dum! This knife rolling pin, 100 years old.
Really?
Really, it's very sharp and very heavy, so I try to cut. Look, our arishta look like a shoelace. Then we hang to dry.
Beautiful. That's awesome.
Now I must hang here
And how long will you leave it
till
like that?
evening.
Till the evening?
Yes.
Okay. So Zara's just making arishta. Did I say it right?
But now you
With
must-
this 100-year-old
Yes.
rolling
Seven-
pin. That's
seven.
seriously heavy.
7 kilos.
7 kilos? Yeah. Wow. And that's just cut it perfectly. These little kind of noodles. You can see them here. Wow. Super
If you
cool
want, you
process.
can cut this.
Can I cut it? With
can.
this?
Yes, yes.
Again? Okay.
Super.
Oh yeah. It's kind of sticking.
I help you.
All right. Look at that. That works really well.
Excellent, Lucas.
So then the arista noodles or pasta are hung, oh, just dropped them, one by one and dried just for a few hours until the evening, she said. So we're sat down now at the beautiful restaurant here at Zara's home, and we've got a couple different dishes. So this is the arishta, the noodles that we just saw her making. Or they call it here Armenian spaghetti, and it's served with some mountain veggies. Here in the middle we've got the dolma, but these dolma with the chopped meat and the bulgur. And then over here we've got these lavash rolls. So they've got stuff with like carrots and some chicken and baked in the oven afterwards. So this looks good. Let's dig in. The dolma meant to be eaten with this beautiful looking yogurt. Go generously with that. Let's try one of these. Msho dolma. Never had this kind before. That's awesome. I love the big pieces of meat. You can see like a Mediterranean influence here in the food, but it's totally different than the dolma you can have in Greece, which is usually just rice, sometimes with minced meat, but this is bulgur and chopped meat. It's really good, and then with the yogurt it just works so well. Those vine leaves just hold everything together. Yum. All right, let's try the arishta. These spaghetti noodles with some mountain veggies and cut using a 100-year-old rolling pin. That's so cool. Yum. So as Zara was saying, the dough that was used to make the noodles, it's salted, so it is a little bit salty. You get some nice crunchy vegetables in there. It's a pretty plain dish, but you can tell these are just super fresh, delicious noodles. They're not the ones we just made because they do need to sit like overnight or until night before you can eat them, but I guess these are yesterday's, super fresh still. So this is the lavash roll. So lavash is like the national bread of Armenia. It's like a very thin bread. Later on the trip we'll see how it's made, but then this is rolled up with all of the ingredients inside. You can see the carrots, there's some chicken in there. Let's try that. Oh wow. Got a little bit of a crunch on the outside. Bit dry, but a nice flavor to it. I gotta give it up for these dolma though, they're just incredible. These are my favorite. And really unique with that bulgur and then chopped meat in there. You get like chunks of meat. Really good. A staple on every Armenian table is a cheese plate like this, sometimes with dried fruit, some nuts. Try this one here with a little grape. My first real bite of Armenian food here in Armenia did not disappoint. Everything's delicious, but I gotta give it up for the dolma. So good.
Thanks a lot. Come again.
What a great first taste of Armenian food and awesome cooking class from Zara. Thank you so much.
Good luck.
Nice to meet you.
Okay.
I can't wait to come back. Thank you so much.
Okay, good luck.
That was awesome. So now we're heading to check out some of the spiritual sites, of which there are many here in Armenia. Let's go. So I'm now in the city of Echmiadzin, which is just about a 20-minute drive from Yerevan, and this is the spiritual heart of Armenian Christianity. There are plenty of sites to visit here, but our first stop is at this church here. This is the Church of Saint Ripsime. So Saint Ripsime was the most beautiful woman in the Roman Empire, and the king of the Roman Empire at the time wanted to marry her, but she was a Christian and he was a pagan, so she refused, and she actually had to flee, and she came to Armenia. But it turned out the king of Armenia at the time also wanted to marry her, but he was also pagan and she refused, and she was actually murdered on this exact site. So she was stoned to death, and then just a few years later Christianity was legalized, and a few hundred years after that they built this church. So in the year 700 they built the church here that still stands to this day, a UNESCO World Heritage Site on the exact site that Saint Ripsime was stoned to death. It's a beautiful example, the first example of a Armenian church, and you've also got an incredible view of Mount Ararat, which is actually across the border in Turkey. And this is just our first stop here in Echmiadzin. There's so much to see here, to learn about the Christian faith here in Armenia. So we're going to go visit a couple more sites, but just an incredibly beautiful church. Another UNESCO World Heritage Site here in Echmiadzin, and a must-see when visiting this region is the Zvartnots Cathedral, or the ruins of the Zvartnots Cathedral. So this was a cathedral built in the 7th century. It was 15 stories tall, if you can believe it. That is probably one of the biggest buildings of its kind at the time. It was a masterpiece of architecture, but they hadn't quite mastered the construction of the dome. So all we have left is the ruins. They're not totally sure if it was destroyed during the Arab invasion or perhaps it was destroyed during an earthquake, but all that remains are a few columns of the former Zvartnots Cathedral. It's a circular shape. It was kind of like 3 sections tall, 15 stories. really beautiful, and there's absolutely nobody here. You also get another incredible view of the Mount Ararat off in the distance. So we've definitely built up an appetite exploring Echmiadzin. It's time to go eat some more Armenian food, so we're heading for lunch next. So for lunch today, we've come to a really cool restaurant. It's actually like a museum and a restaurant. It's the museum of a woman named Lusik Enguletsi. She's a famous Armenian painter. There's a gallery downstairs. We just checked out the gallery, incredible paintings. And we're going to actually, before lunch, be cooking dessert. We're gonna be cooking a very traditional Armenian dessert called Gata. So we're gonna see how it's all made, and then later we're gonna sit down and have our lunch. It's just such a beautiful, beautiful setting. The walls are covered in all these old artifacts and things from Lusik Enguletsi's life. So let's go see how to make a traditional Armenian Gata. So we were just watching how the traditional Armenian Gata is made. It's sort of like a sweet dessert cake that's wrapped up in a ball. There's different fillings. This one had like dried fruit, sugar, and nuts, and then it's pressed with a stamp, and each stamp is kind of unique, and then it's baked in the oven until golden crispy. We're gonna have that for dessert, but we've also got a beautiful dinner here. So a couple different things. This is like a mashed chickpea spread, and then this one over here is a mashed red bean spread. Tons of different veggies here, just beautiful platter of veggies. And then of course we've got the cheese back here, and then we've got the dolma, the vine leaves. So let's dig in. This is kind of interesting looking, this red bean mash. I'm gonna grab a little triangle here of it, and then try that with a little bit of bread. It's like a sweet red bean paste. Really creamy. That's unique. So we just had a main course served to us. This is a stuffed eggplant. Look how beautiful that is. It's stuffed with meat. I see some tomato sauce in there as well. Let's just give this a try. Oh, that's so lovely. Comforting. All right, there's a ton of great food here. We're gonna eat, and then we're gonna catch back up with you with dessert to try the Gata. That was amazing dinner. Now it's time for dessert. This is the final product, beautifully presented, the Gata, and you can see that kind of unique design on this top that's been stamped in, and then on the inside we've got the butter, and there's actually dried fruits in this one, nuts, and I can smell the cinnamon. It smells amazing. Let's try this out. The sugar hasn't like melted, so you get like little crunchy sugar bits in there, some chewy fruit, dried fruit, nuts, yeah. But really it tastes like the flavor of cinnamon. It reminds me of like Christmas back home in Canada. It's almost like reminds me of like an apple strudel or something like that. I don't think there's apple in this, but it's the cinnamon. It's yummy, really good.
I can taste cinnamon. Tastes fruity too. Yeah.
Finished off with our lunch. That was great and incredibly delicious. Traditional Armenian Gata, that awesome dessert. So cool to see how it's made like that too. And we're heading now to Yerevan's famous Central Market. So we've come to Yerevan's Central Market, or it's also called the Gum Market. It's filled with lots of dry fruit stalls, and I think we're gonna have a lot of samples because people are already handing out different things to try. And this woman right here, thank you. What is this? Oh, it's this one right here. Okay, apricot. Let's try this. Wow, what a sample. It's like an entire one. Mmm. Oh, it's delicious. Mmm. Like really juicy. Really juicy. A little bit sour, a little bit sweet. And it's not like, it's not very dry. Lots of samples. This is the famous sujuk, which is like mulberry juice that's covered around walnuts, so you can see the walnuts on the inside, and it's these ones that are hanging up right here. Famous, especially at this market. Let's try it. Mmm. Very good. Super friendly. Look at, she's just gonna feed me until I walk away. Dried plum. Oh, that one's more sour. Oh, I like this one. This one's my favorite. So many different dried fruits. Look at this. Now I got a dried peach. Pretty much they dry everything here in Armenia. And you can find it all at the market. Oh, that's good too. That's sweet. And what is this? Apricot. No, I've also been given this. You can see it's apricot that's been covered in sesame seeds. Oh my gosh. I've tried like 10 things and I've only been here for like 10 seconds. Oh, that's really good. Super soft, and then crunchy little sesame seeds are on the outside. Thank you. So I've literally taken 3 more steps and just got another sample. This one's dried melon. Oh yeah. I feel like when they dry it, it almost concentrates the flavor. Like it's really flavorful. That one's sweet. And look at this. This is actually dried watermelon, which I didn't even realize you could dry watermelon. And because I'm pointing at it, I'm going to get a sample of it, I guess. Thank you. And the whole thing, I guess. Let's try that. Dried watermelon. Oh my gosh. Who would have known? It's like, got the candy kind of chewy texture. All of them. But really concentrated watermelon flavor. Oh, that's really good. Super friendly people here. They don't even care. They're just like, here, take a sample, take a sample. So they call this pickled lavash. Lavash is the very thin Armenian bread. They actually have a section we're gonna go see next. This is not actually bread though. This is like the apricot juice that they lay in the sun and they let it dry. Oh my gosh, that one's super sour and chewy. Whoa, it's so sour. And you can see that they've got these like platters. Oh, that one is so sour. That's like, you know, like Warheads, the candy, like super sour candy. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. It's sour. Like super sour.
So this is the famous Armenian lavash. Very, very thin bread, cooked in the village, but then sold in the market here, and it's sold all along this entire alley. And this is like the most famous bread in all of Armenia for sure. Eat it with everything. Just look at how bubbly it gets like there. Very friendly locals here. So I've got a little taster of the lavash. You're supposed to be eating this with something else, but I just wanted to try it since we're here. And one thing that's really interesting is that the bread can last for like 3 months or more. And they just pour a little bit of water on it to kind of soften it back up when it's time to eat. That's good. I don't know if that's 3 months old, 3 days old, but regardless, it tastes good. It's super chewy, a little bit salt in there too. So we've kind of left the dried fruit section and come to the meat section, and this woman just gave me a sample of sujuk, which is like a sausage with garlic. You can see it, it's vacuum sealed right here, and it's sort of like the brother or cousin to this one, which is called basturma, which is covered in the spices there. So both of these very popular here in Armenia. Let's try out some of the sujuk. Tastes like paprika. It's got a nice kind of dried chewiness. Yum, that's actually really good. Look at that meat. So we went through the dried fruit section, went through the meat section, now we are in the pickle section, and she has the most insane selection of pickles I've ever seen. There's peppers, there's cauliflower, onions, garlic, and she's giving me classic cucumber. Really friendly. Ooh. Salty, but good. Yum. Still crunchy. Now she's literally just telling me to take anything I want, so I saw the okra, lady fingers. I've never had one of these pickled before. Also very good. This woman's super friendly. Yum. Such a cool market, the Gum market or central market here in Yerevan. You have to visit when visiting the city. We had a lot of samples, but I think it's time for a proper dinner now, so let's head to dinner.
Vostan is translated as train.
Wow, that looks great. So tonight for dinner, we're back in the center of Yerevan. We are at Vostan restaurant. We're just in the kitchen where they're making the fresh bread. They've got bread with sesame seeds and with pumpkin seeds, and I've got the fresh bread here just out of the tonir, you call? Tonir. Like a tandoor oven. Oh, super crispy, super hot. Let's try it. Oh. So fluffy. It's delicious. And this guy's like a master. Super fast. Sticks on the side, cooks up just like 5 minutes, and then it's toasty like that. Okay, we're not here just for the bread though. There's a lot of food to try, so let's go sit down. So we're sitting down now in the dining room. It's a beautiful restaurant. It's like traditional, but it's also very chic, kind of classy place, but they're serving traditional Armenian food. We've got 2 appetizers here. These are little eggplant rolls with stuff with, looks like sour cream, some nuts on top, some little burberries. And then over here we've got like a summer salad with some tomatoes, onions, cucumbers, some dill in there. It smells amazing. But let me just start with one of these guys right here. Look at how beautiful that is. Little eggplant roll. I love eggplant. Ooh. Yum. There's some dill in that cream in the middle too. Soft eggplant. I love eggplant. One of my favorite things in the world. Yeah. A little bit crunch from the nuts too. Very high quality fruits and veg here in Armenia. Very fertile lands for growing really extremely high quality stuff. So let me try some of these fresh veg here. With a juicy tomato. Super juicy. Yum, I love the fresh dill. Super crisp. Look at this, beautiful eggplant. It's definitely gonna be good with bread, but let me just try a little bit by itself. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm super happy to find out there's a ton of eggplant dishes here in Armenia because it's like one of my all-time favorite ingredients. You can taste it, this one's super smoky. It's got like a hint of sourness too with the tomatoes. Really creamy eggplant, yum. So our main course has just arrived. They just brought out a beautiful leg of lamb. He brought a knife but there was absolutely no need for the knife. You just went in right with the hands, completely fall off the bone. I mean, it came out like absolutely effortless. And then we've got a piece of it here on the table with some potatoes, but I'm just gonna go and just try. I can see pieces of full peppercorns in there as well, but I gotta just try some of this lamb by itself. That is so tender. Super, super tender. Juicy, beautiful lamb. No like smell whatsoever. Oh, that is perfectly cooked. So tender. Just look at this. You can just pull it apart. He pulled it apart with his fingers, but I mean, look at that. That is beautiful. Let's try a little bit of it with some of these potatoes here as well. That is seriously good lamb. Oh my gosh. That was an incredible meal. We've got our dessert now. Traditional sweet here in Armenia. This is baklava. So phyllo dough. There might be some nuts in there. And then we also have a Armenian green tea. So this, look at the color of that. It's like bright yellow actually. It's with thyme and with mint. And you can smell the thyme. It smells really good. Oh yeah. It's almost like fresh pine is what it reminds me of, but it's thyme, a little bit minty. Let's try some of this. Baklava. Oh, that's really, really hard one. Oh wow. It's different. It's different than the baklava I've tried before. It's more dense. It's not as like thin and crispy, it's like crunchy, really thick. Yum. With the tea, perfect way to end the meal. All right, guys, that's it for our first day here in Armenia. What an incredible day of eating, exploring this beautiful country, such a rich history. We learned a lot. We got to experience a lot and taste a lot. And we have more videos coming from Armenia, so make sure to stay tuned. Subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the bell icon so you get notified. I'll see you guys on the next episode of Chops Like Travel. Bye.